Good morning, good morning. Wait to see if these people show. Here in the green, here in the show. Actually, we have somebody really special this morning. Good morning, everybody. Jenny Bailey's live from the Postcard Studio. You can keep that straight. 4 Anderson Street, Box 4, Portland, Maine, 01010. When you're down and you don't know what to do, just write a postcard. When you're feeling fine and the sun on your mind, don't you know grandma loves the short every time you don't need things. You don't know about. Liars again, ride a horse to do, I am so happy we have this morning. With very special guest reading the prayer inside JACOBS live Anglos California. Amazing person. Got some stories to tell, got some songs to sing, and just joining the show for the first time. We're so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. You can write to us. Postcards. Must music. Box 1. Sound official. Portland, Maine 0101. Read it on the show. We got a letter from Grandma today. Although super happy that we can bring you a letter from Prairie. That steals today. Very wonderful. Hi, Jacob. So without further ado, we'll say a quick hello to whoever's in the green room here. What's up, California. Robotic echo. Interesting. Well, we'll see if we can fix that. Thanks for the heads up. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll see if we can get that fixed. In the meantime, let me know if it goes away. Okay. I'm not sure what that could possibly be. So without further ado, let's bring it. Hi, JACOBS. Good morning, Kai.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm getting the robotic thingy too.
Oh, you are. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can. Let's see if it goes away now. Is it gone? Is it gone now?
Oh no, it's still there, but it's better.
It's better. Okay, I'm gonna edit my mic settings. I'm just gonna put myself on. Thanks for the heads up about that. I know what the problem is.
How about now?
Oh.
Gone?
Oh, yay!
How about now?
Woo.
Is it still gone?
No, it's great. Now it's great.
Now? Okay. Yes. It's called using the right speaker. All right. Okay. Terrific.
Hey.
So, good morning. Welcome to Postcards, Pie. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
I feel like it's probably been about a year since the last time we were in the same room together.
Yeah. Well, South by
last year.
Yeah. So
I know it's early in the morning out there, but we got to talk about the weather.
Oh God, yeah.
So it's been snowing here off and on the last couple of days, but same in Los Angeles, am I right?
It's well, I guess this hasn't happened since the 1980s, but yeah, we have snow and it's so cool. Like, it's not quite down as low as my house, but I can see it from like the upstairs window. You can see the snow, and we took a drive yesterday and checked it out. It's fun. It's exciting here because we don't have it all the time. So
yeah, totally. Oh my God. So, well, I'm glad you got something other than deluged with rain. I mean, I know that can be a little bit of an issue, right? Did that also happen, or?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it was raining down here where we are.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny. When I first moved to LA, I lived in Silver Lake, which is, in the heart of the city and all that. And then about 6 years ago, I moved out to this canyon that I live in now. It's very naturey out here, which is, people don't believe me, but I'm 20 minutes from Hollywood, and yet where I live is there's a lot of horse ranches out here. They used to do horses for the movies. And it's a canyon with both sides are a mountain preserve, so they can't build on them. So I can leave my house, walk, 10 minutes to a trail that says, warning, mountain lions and rattlesnakes. So it's kind of weird, but 20 minutes to Hotel Cafe. So anyway, so we deal with the elements out here more than I used to.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, it's really, I haven't been right where you live, but having been to spend some time in LA, it is something that I think a lot of people don't realize is that there is such a richness of wild spaces around, in and around Los Angeles, and it's very special part of the world. So well, we're so glad you got up early this morning to join us. So what do you say we launch into a song? Are you down? Okay,
I'm down.
All right.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Well, I'm going to start out with this one. I guess this is my most popular song on Spotify now. It's from a couple years ago, and I think it's very romantic. But I did play it for my in-laws, and they were horrified. So there we go. You tell me if you think it's romantic.
Bye, Jacobs.
I got a good one. Days of bliss and a wonder. Oh, let me turn that on. And there's no earthly reason for my dumb luck, so I pour it all out my broken cup. Now I know all them ways to run and hide. I know to leave before you say goodnight. Oh, and I got skills to deal with the cheating kind. Oh, yeah. Oh, but a man like you requires a new frame of mind. I got a good one, yeah. Days of bliss and wonder, and there's no earthly reason for my dumb luck, so I pour it all out my broken cup. I am versed in all the ways of goodbye. Divorce, whiskey, legal problems, and cheaters' lies. Oh, I'm a pro at what not to do. Oh, I did it so well till I met you. And you disarm me with your kindness in the night. You sang me such a sweet tune. Oh, I know everything will be fine. I got a good one, yeah. Days of bliss broken cup. All out my broken cup. Ooh, all out my broken cup.
All right, Pie. Oh man, first thing in the morning out there, and you were sounding like absolute like songbird, my dear.
Oh.
Songbird. Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo. God, I love doing this. I'll tell you why. I get to hang out with people like yourself and just listen, and it's just a pleasure. So, Pie JACOBS here on Postcards, coming to us live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Van West here in Portland, Maine, in the Postcard Studio, and so Pie, you've got a new. I want to talk about your new residency out in LA
Okay.
because you got a couple things to talk about, and I wanted to touch on that. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so this place pretty close to my house called Urban Press Winery, and I had played a couple shows there. It's a casual place. It's interesting because they make wine, but they don't make it there on the premise, and they only make wine from Sonoma County grapes. And I am from Sonoma County, so and I grew up, having fights in the vineyards and around wine culture. So I was attracted to it because of that. But they do live music, and so I started, I guess, in July doing this songwriter series that is. It's focused on singer-songwriters. It's usually solo acts. Sometimes we have duos. But it will always be one touring artist, myself, and one local artist. And the idea is everyone plays a set, so you get a sense of who they are, and then it gets crazy. Then we collaborate. We'll learn a song together, or there are often musicians in the audience that will get up and play. And it's just a really good time, but the focus of it is on songwriting and songwriters, which is a lot of times, there are places for bands to play in LA or big showcases, but the more casual thing is harder to come by, And also, there really just aren't that many venues in LA, and people are so kind to me when I tour. Will put me on their shows in their hometown, and everyone wants to come play in LA, and it's always like, okay, well, I can give you this email and this email, but I can't tell you that they're gonna email you back. So I sort of, when I'm on the road, I'm collecting people, touring artists that I think are awesome that I want to present. So
yes. I just think that form. We were talking about this yesterday. I was like, I think that's such a brilliant format, and it's definitely the voice of experience that's speaking right there, of just like the experience of being out there and being essentially unknown to the people in the area, or to be returning and needing to but just that need for connection, and creating a simple format, relatively simple. It's not necessarily always easy to run. I'm sure you have. You got to communicate with people and all that, but like the simple format leaves so much space. Same as simple songs leave so much space for people to jump in and that sort of thing. So
yeah, and a lot of the magic happens when these three songwriters, who usually don't know each other very well, collaborate, and then someone in the audience will get up and play, and
so great.
We leave room for the magic.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So
yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing that. I mean, even though I can't just hop. I mean, I'd like to hop on a plane and come on out there and just join the fun. And I'll do that
you're welcome
sometime.
anytime, Jenny Van West. We'd love to have you as a
It's
guest.
a great community vibe going on there. That's totally my thing. We're
the whole
talking with
point.
Pie JACOBS. What's that? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, I just said that's the whole point. It's a community
That's the whole
thing.
point.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Yeah.
point. Well, awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, but it's called Last Thursdays because it's on the last Thursday.
Did I get it wrong? It's last.
Oh, you did write it. Okay. I
Last
wasn't looking at that.
Thursdays. Here, I did. It's okay. It's all right. This is my job.
Oh, yeah, last Thursdays. Last Thursdays with Pie and
Thursdays with
Friends.
Pie and Friends at the Urban
Yeah.
Press Winery, and that's in
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's in the town of Burbank, which is
Burbank,
kind of north of downtown. It's where one of the airports is.
Oh, yes.
It's close
I
to
know
my
that
house.
airport.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
little airport in California.
Yes.
Hardest working airport in California.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the
For
hardest
reals.
So, Well, it's 11:15, and we're gonna dip into for just a few minutes the one of my usual things, which is steals and deals, and then we're gonna talk some more. So, would you like to be
Okay.
in the room for steals and deals, or would you like a moment to go get a coffee?
Uh, I don't know what it is, so
Oh, okay. Well,
sure.
you should stick around. All right.
Okay.
So,
I will drink my kombucha and steals and
Drink your
deals.
kombucha, and we'll do steals and deals. So
Okay.
the way this came about was in the early days of postcards, I wouldn't always get something in the mail. This is during the deep pandemic when there was just this sense of like needing to have tin can telephones to communicate with people. Like that's kind of what we did on Zoom, and I kept not getting postcards in the mailbox. So I just decided to read the steals and deals that came from the grocery store, and lo and behold, it became a department. I do want to say good morning to Carolyn Irving. He's coming to us live from Evanston, Illinois. Nice to see you here, Carolyn. Do my best to David. All right, so we're gonna talk about Hannaford's. Hannaford's is one of the local grocery stores here. Let's take a quick look here and see what we got. Okay, all natural bone-in center cut pork loin roast, $1.49 a pound. That is pretty cheap. Not sure how good it is. I'm a little fussy about where my meat comes from, but if you're looking to feed a whole bunch of people, that is a good price. That is a good price. All right, so let's see here. Are you scintillated? Isn't this scintillating?
It is. Yes.
It totally is. You can't imagine what's going to happen next. And I have rearranged my life so that I can go grocery shopping after postcards on Mondays, so that if there's anything really good in here, I just go buy it right around the corner.
There you
All
go.
right. We've got raspberries or blackberries, 2 for $5. Still kind of expensive, but actually better than normal. And let's see. Let's do one more because we're keeping it short today because you're here, Pie. We don't want to like overshadow your amazing self and music with just.
I don't know. I like
But-
blackberries and raspberries. So.
I know, right? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so Market Basket has the best sort of like trailing edge design that I absolutely love. It's 1960s design with 2000 era prices. Jessica cinnamon raisin bread, $4.89 for a big old loaf of cinnamon raisin bread. So if you've got a big family, everybody needs toast in the morning. Just grab some butter. I recommend Kate's. It's made in Maine and it's the best butter around. And you can pair that with, let's see, we're gonna go for one more here. Brussels sprouts, $1.99 a pound. That is actually a pretty good price for Brussels sprouts here. Plus butternut squash is 69 cents a pound. So there you go. You've been stealed and dealed. I always recommend that people take a look at your steals and deals, and if you get a really particularly good one, send it to me. You never know what's going to be in there. Sometimes there's some really weird stuff that's on sale, or there's a really good deal, and we want to know about it. We don't want to know what's going on in your town. All right. So if you're just joining us for the first time, you can see that this is not your normal podcast. This is Postcards coming to you live from Portland, Maine. We are here with the very wonderful Pie Jacobs, singer-songwriter, Americana artist, touring amazing lady with a new album coming out from 40 Below Records. It's in the works. So maybe
I'm not on 40 Below Records, but I'm working with Eric Korn, who is the head of 40 Below Records. He's also a wonderful
gotcha.
record producer, and so he is
gotcha.
producing the record. Yeah.
Terrific. And are you producing it there in your studio?
No. So you can see a little bit of my studio here. I would call this studio. I do a lot of work here, but I would call it a production studio in that I usually don't track more than two tracks at a time. So things like drums or live recordings with a full band, I go elsewhere. And also I find that like I do jingle work and that sort of thing here, but for me, if I'm doing an album, it's very helpful for me to have somebody else engineering and all that. And Eric Korn is a master at both producing an artist artistically, but also at the engineering side of things as well. So
Yeah. So awesome. So maybe we could use that as a segue to talk for a minute about getting into production. And this is something that I don't meet a lot of women who really have either the desire to learn or the opportunity to learn, or the understanding that could actually happen. There's a lot of sort of like modeling that hasn't happened before when I was growing up,
Mhm.
but now is here. So maybe you could talk a little bit about why you got into, producing, at least part of your music at your own studio.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long journey. So in 2001, was a whippersnapper, and I made my first album with a guy named Phil Bright. This was when I still lived in the Bay Area, where I'm from, and you know, uh, I watched him working on at that time Digital Performer, and then, I moved to New York, and there was a bunch of things with this particular album. For instance, he had put in a lot of unauthorized samples. So I started getting a lot of licensing and things like that. And they're like, could you please take this Schoolhouse Rock out of here? So I had
Whoa.
a hard drive with the tracks. And so I just went in there. I was sort of unafraid about it. I was like, I'm going to go in and try to take that out, and so that I can get this license. And I purchased Pro Tools and started working on it. And really, I just got in there and made a mess. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was unafraid to go in. As long as you save your original files, you really can't do too much damage. So
Right.
I started teaching myself. And then everywhere I went to work with other people, I would just watch them. And then, fast forward to I moved to LA in 2005, and I started working with this guy named Randy Wine, and he was a master Pro Tools engineer. I mean, he engineered some of U2's albums, and he was a badass. And to save money, he was like, "Well, you have Pro Tools. Let's do some of this at your house." So we did, and I'd be working with him, watching him live, and I'd get all nervous, using the computer. But he taught me a lot of really valuable stuff. And one thing that I found with that is, I started doing music for TV and film. I started, I would do jingle work, or if people needed a vocal, or I get a lot of work doing choral arranging. So I'll have me and three other singers, and I'll arrange something, and we'll sing things a million times, and then it sounds like a big old, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir or something. So it started to mean, some work for me, but also I feel like it's really expanded my ears, so that when I'm in a studio with somebody like an Eric Korn, who's a really high level engineer, which I'm not, I can get around, but I'm not
Right.
up here. But when I'm there, I can say, "Hey, can we try this other mic? I'm hearing this, and this." And my ear is better tuned, having played with all the many tools that are in the Pro Tools box and all the boxes. And it's very empowering, I don't know about you, but I've had plenty of times. I've worked with lots of producers and lots of great ones, but there will always come a time where you butt heads as an artist with that person. And so to be able to express yourself clearly, say, "I don't like that reverb, it has too much early reflection," something like that is very important. And I've gotten better at standing up for what I want artistically because of that. So
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
that is a fabulous bit that you just said about the empowerment of just being able to communicate better. And a good producer will not feel threatened by that.
Absolutely. But
And
it's almost always a man producer and a woman artist. I mean, at least, like, I've never been produced by a woman. I'd like to try that. That'd be cool. But
yeah,
and so there can be some of that, dynamic little lady.
little lady. Yes,
And
yeah,
so
you
it's good to
put
know
me
your
down.
stuff, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was, you know what, you and I are gonna have to have a longer talk about this. I don't want to go too long because we really want to get to another song, and I feel like we just cracked open this topic. So
Yeah.
but I want to make sure that we get to another song before too much time goes by. We've got Pi Jacobs here in the studio. I'm Jenny Van West, coming to you live from Portland, Maine. We've got Pi Jacobs. early AM out in Los Angeles, California. Just starting the day out there. Great to see you here, and so glad and so grateful that for you to make the time to come and talk with us and play a couple songs. So so we're gonna put a pin in the production conversation because you said a whole bunch of things that like lit up my brain. But how about we go into another song?
Yeah.
Have you got one lined up that you might like to play right now?
Absolutely. I mean, you were talking about the new record, and this is a song that's going to be on it, and I'm excited about. And I will play it for you now.
All right. Postcards.
Hallelujah, it's just me again. I've been waiting for that front door to slam. Now I'm nobody's lover or mother or friend. Hallelujah, it's just me again. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. I need some love here, just a taste. Still you don't see, that you don't hear, that you don't know, dear. I will waste. Hallelujah, it's just me again. I've been waiting for that front door to slam. Now I'm nobody's lover or mother or friend. Hallelujah, it's just me again. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I got some love I like to give. I got some love here. Have a sip. Hey, that's enough, don't take it all, you had enough, dear. Nothing's left. You know it's breaking me, yeah. Your every little need. But if I was gone, oh yeah, you'd be just fine on your own. Oh, hallelujah, it's just me again. I've been waiting for that front door to slam. Now I'm nobody's lover. You know, I'm nobody's mother. Hallelujah, 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 it's just me again. Oh, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by JACOBS here on Postcards. That's awesome. So that's going on that's on the new record.
Yeah, and all that talking about engineering, and I forgot to turn my reverb back on, and I turned it on in the middle of the song.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
You know.
okay. I actually didn't notice, and it just,
Oh, good.
having been sitting in this live streaming world for the last 3 years, it's like I've heard so many different things, and like I said last night, it was so great to hop on yesterday and do a little sound check and be like, oh, you got a studio. Oh, you knew your way around microphones. Oh, you knew your way around StreamYard. It's a nice surprise. And I hate to say it's a surprise, but it doesn't. It's actually not a comment on anybody else or sort of like women, men, or anybody, any other flavor of humanity.
No,
It's just
it's
unusual.
we all, us musicians, just got thrown into this world of live streaming. And honestly, you know what it is? It's like, hey, you musician, just make your own TV studio, engineer the whole thing, and try to be entertaining and also play music. It's just, it's a kind of a, And we're all just trying to figure it out. And trust me, I've had debacles. I was live streaming for Americana Highways right in the beginning of the pandemic, and my whole thing just my internet died. I was,
Oh yeah.
it was dead air. It was horribly embarrassing, and so I've been there.
I've been there like dozens and dozens of times. So many times that I don't actually. It's like if it's even possible, I don't even get embarrassed by it anymore. I get a little bit embarrassed, but I'm like, you know what? We're
Doing our-
all swimming in the soup now, and so one of the things that also I just think is really cool. First of all, I have to say good morning to a couple people. Actually, just one. Judith Swyman coming to us live from Jackson Heights, Queens.
Hey,
From Queens, Astoria, Jackson Heights area. Yes. So we've got
And
we've got a broad
Diggy
listenership
Cat
this
is
morning.
here.
What's
I
that?
see. My friend Diggy Cat is here. Vuff
Yes,
Cup.
Diggy's here.
Hey, what's
Diggy's
up?
always here.
Yeah.
So I can't remember where I was going with that, so I'll just do a little station ID. Jenny Van West coming to you live from Portland, Maine, the Postcard Studio here at beautiful Studio 224, where it's in between snowstorms, and the sun is shining today, and I'm just so happy to be here with my friend and colleague, Pi Jacobs, coming to us live from Los Angeles, California. Great to have you here. And we've been talking about production. We've been talking about a new record. We've been talking about the Urban Press Winery, where Pi has got a last Thursdays with Pi and Friends.
Yep.
Pi plus a local artist plus a touring artist, and the rest is the magic that just flows between you and the wine. Don't forget the wine.
Good wine too.
So okay. So talking about live streaming, right quick. I wanted to touch on, how was it in terms of stepping back out and getting back out and playing gigs for you? Did it feel like it took some time to get your head back in the game, or was it kind of one of those things where you've got so much history and so much experience doing that you just, it was like falling off a log, and you're like, I'm there as soon as we can open up and run with it. What was your experience with that?
I mean, the first few gigs for actual humans were really moving. I mean, I remember one of my first gigs back, I played this winery that I've played many times up in Paso Robles. And I'm playing, it's outdoors, and there's a big crowd, kids, dogs, whatever. And these three older couples, I mean, much older, like I would say like 80s, maybe even 90s. Three couples got up and started dancing, I guess, I don't know what you call that, but, partner dancing. I don't even know how to do it.
Right.
Where you hold your...
Two-stepping or one-stepping or
Yeah,
four-stepping or
where you've got
something.
the one arm out like in a crook anyway. So they were doing that, and they danced. I mean, and I'm playing solo, like how you see me now. They danced for like an hour, these three couples. And I was just, I mean, it brought tears to my eyes. It was like these poor, especially older people, they're super concerned about COVID, and I'm sure they were just stuck inside. Yeah. And so it was very beautiful. I had a bunch of moments like that, like, oh, this is this connection. This is why we do this. I mean, I've been back at it hard, and I will say it's not the same. It's still really difficult. It's getting better slowly, but audiences were way down, at least a third down for a long time. Now it's just very hit and miss. It's like sometimes you have an amazing packed show. Sometimes, I mean, hit and miss as far as attendance goes. A lot of venues have closed, so it's all different. It's a new world. I'm just like everybody else trying to figure out how to do it again. But the music part feels great. Like that, that's why we do it, because it feels great. So
yeah, totally. And I appreciate those reflections, and I think it's so interesting how, and I'm so glad that you had that experience of people dancing, and like how that is taking a step back in time to, and maybe hopefully a step forward, because I think those things go in and out of fashion, of like showing up at someone's gig and just making a dance floor happen.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that happened for you. That's just that's a really special story. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. We're talking to Pi Jacobs from Los Angeles, California, Americana artist, sometimes producer.
sometimes.
Got a great new show going on every last Thursday at the Urban Press Winery in California. last Thursdays with Pie and Friends. I can't wait to come out. That gives me one more of a bunch of reasons to come out there. I haven't been out in a minute. And so here's one of the things that we do. We're a few minutes late for this, but I want to jump into it. We read the mail at 11:30. It's 11:36, but we're going to give ourselves a pass because we have you in the house, and we've been having a good time.
I love it.
I don't have any new postcards, but we do have a letter from Grandma. So gather round, children. And if you don't know who Grandma is, she lives in an island called North Moldova. It's off the north coast of Finland. It was settled by former residents of Astoria, Oregon, all of Finnish descent. I've never been able to find it on a map, but once in a while she just writes a letter and tells us how things are going on North Moldova. So we've got a letter today. February 14th to 20th. Looks like she sat down for a couple of days there. 2023. Dear grandchildren, a belated happy Valentine's Day to you all. Life on North Moldova goes fine. So far, our stores of cabbage, mutton, and potatoes appear to suffice to support our population. Life is always an experiment, and one need always remain watchful, resourceful, and calm. That's pretty good advice. Watchful, resourceful, and calm. We play games by night, the nights that grow shorter as the ewes prepare to lamb. We have 23 pregnant ewes and expect a good, let's see, I can't read her writing. She actually wrote this by hand. And expect a good, I think, a good number of lambs. I think that's what she's trying to say. A good season. There it is. The border collies have patrolled all winter against non-existent predators. Our only true enemies are wind, cold, and hunger, and we are well protected. Always a pleasure to darn or knit while listening to postcards on the wireless. I enjoyed Aaron Seglin and last week Titi Dubakara. Take care of one another. Love, Grandma. All right, Grandma. Thank you. Thank you for writing to us. We always love to hear from Grandma. So there you go. You've heard the letter from Grandma Pie.
Is this your grandma?
This is, well, she's a little bit of a mystery. I can't find where she lives on the map. I've had her on the show, but I've never actually met her. We'll talk more about it later. It later. But she's kind of everybody's grandma.
Yeah.
Yes, Judith, we love you, Grandma.
I know, right?
Grandma. Oh, yeah. And another note from Judith. Hey, I love the lights. Yeah, the lights are pretty fun. They're my new happy place. And you can't really tell on the live stream, but they have the most amazing colors. So anyway, coming back to you, Pie. How about another song? Are you in the mood?
Sure.
All
yeah.
right, cool.
Always. Let's see. Okay. I want to play new things. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be on the new record, and it's a little different. It's a co-write with my friend Jess Hudak, who is an amazing singer. She's sung on a couple of my albums. She's vocal coached me. She's pretty amazing. Anyway, she left me a voice message in the middle of the night last year at South by, actually. And the voice message was, Pie, I started writing a song about a mermaid and you have to finish it. And so I was with, the two guys that I play with, Adam and Zach, and we're in this Airbnb at 2:30 in the morning. We play the first line and just fall out laughing. It's so good. So I finished it, and I hope I did it justice. It's called Mermaid.
All right. Bye, Jacobs.
I am a mermaid. I got a tail and a seashell bra. You know I wear it well. My heart is overflowing, and I love to sing. I just never like swimming, but I'm a mermaid, so I know what her tastes like. It's salty like a sea spray, like my tears in the ocean. My ocean is a cage. Oh, carved down in the darkness, an emerald in the ash. Sailors look for me, but when I sing they crash. My heart is always breaking, like the waves that keep my sleep at bay. 'Cause I'm a mermaid, so I know what hurt feels like. It's like breathing underwater when you need the air. The ocean, my ocean, my ocean is my cage. When you are a mermaid and you got a tail and a seashell bra, just try to wear it well. My heart is overflowing. Oh, I love to sing, but I will never like swimming.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. That's amazing. Amazing song. Wow. Pi Jacobs here on Postcards. Oh, very cool. I love, and I love to hear the story about how this came about. You did that with your last album, Stories.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Are
yes,
you going to do
live
that
from
again,
Memphis.
or is it going to be sort of in a different form?
No. I mean, I with live from Memphis, I feel like I told my whole life story, and I'm like, oh God, I can't take it anymore. If you want to know every bleeding thing about me, you can go get that album. Honestly.
Oh, very cool. Wow, you're just sounding fabulous. And I have to say, it's like it's always just such a pleasure to hang out with you. And one of the things I love about being around you and your music, Pi, is that you are always on point, and that is a very hard thing to maintain day after day. And so, you may not feel that way, but I hear it, and others hear it. I'm curious about maybe we didn't bring this up yesterday, but like, what's your practice routine, or do you not have one? Like, how do you keep what motivates you to stay current beyond just loving the music?
Well, so it's interesting. I mean, there's all these different phases I do in my career, right? Like when I'm writing a lot, I don't necessarily stay in show shape, but I consider being in show shape really like it's a little bit like being an athlete, meaning I have to keep my hands and my voice and all that, warm, strong, ready to go. And I discovered this thing, I've always been really interested in studying with different vocal coaches. And so every few years I'll go and study with somebody new. But during the pandemic, I started doing these vocal warm-ups that I found online from this great coach called the Aussie Vocal Coach, Aussie as in Australia. And I started doing his warm-up, which is, 10 minutes. You can do it while you're walking around doing the dishes, whatever. And I started doing it every day because I was streaming every day. And I was like, oh, wow, everything is easy. Like any high notes I want to hit, anything. And I was like, this is the vocal care I should have been doing my whole life. What's wrong with me? So when I'm on tour, I do it every day. I did it before I'm at 7:30 in the morning. Just now, my husband's like, oh God, here she goes. And the reason I do it is not because like I'm so disciplined or anything, but because it feels good. It feels good to know I'm going to reach for a high note and be able to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And same with my guitar playing. During the pandemic, I took some guitar lessons with the wonderful Nikki O'Neill, who's a great, amazing guitarist.
She's a wonderful
And
teacher too.
she's a great teacher also. I was very fortunate. And
Cheers,
I had
Nikki.
a lot of epiphanies. You know, I've been playing guitar for a long time. I have a degree in music. I've always been really nervous about improvising. And so I wouldn't say that I'm not nervous about it anymore, but I'm starting to add more improvising into my repertoire due to her. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't do these things because I'm so disciplined and whatever. I do them because the result is fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to
The
shred.
result is fun.
Yeah.
Now, if we could just all stay in that mind frame and remind ourselves when we're like doing any kind of little uphill movement with an artistic endeavor, the result is
Yeah.
going to be more fun. More
Yeah.
fun than what's happening right now. More fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's I'm gonna look up that vocal exercise. I hope you don't mind.
He's
And-
awesome.
And yeah, awesome. So we're talking with Pi Jacobs, coming to us live from Los Angeles, California, where it's been snowing,
Yeah.
raining and snowing, doing stuff like that. And we have some similar weather going on, and about as far apart in the contiguous 48 as we could possibly get.
I know.
But I feel like you're right around the corner. Happy to have you here, Pi.
Yeah.
It's 11:48. I want to say a couple quick words about what's coming up, and then we're gonna do a little more stuff and things and talking to Pi. So if you want to hang out for just a second, we're gonna talk about that coming up next week. I think we're gonna have a regular old Monday, like Mondays of yore, which is just gonna be me and playing some songs. I haven't done that in a while, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm feeling so inspired. And I'm gonna go check out the vocal coach and see if that like helps to loosen things up. Because winter, I'm gonna tell you, winter in Maine is a little bit of a harsh thing with voices and guitars and
I
skin
believe
and
it.
hair and everything. It's dry.
Yeah.
I do so love the cold, but it is dry. So next week it's going to be me, and then I'm going to be heading the 12th of March. I'm flying down to Austin, and I'm going to be hanging out on Thursday at the Tex Chromosome event, interviewing people. And are you going to South by this year?
I am. I'm gonna be at Opal Divines for the Tex
Oh,
chromosome
yes.
thing.
Can we get
I'm
you on
also-
postcards for 2 seconds when you're down there?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course,
Cool.
of course.
Great.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm playing at Giddy Ups. I'm coming in just for a short, just like a day and a half. But I love Tex Chromosome. Always want to support them, and I love Austin, whether it's South by or not. I
Yes.
won't pass up a chance to go there. So.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite food item that you like to always make sure you eat when you're down there?
Yes. Don't tell. This is terrible. Okay. Have you ever had Frito pie? Have you had Frito pie? It's amazing.
Frito pie? No.
Frito pie is probably a heart attack in it. So what it is like they take one of those little paper things that you put a hot dog in, and they take Frito chips and they smash it down, right? And then they put like cheese. It's like a lasagna but made with Fritos. So like cheese,
Oh my God.
salsa, beans, enchilada sauce, more cheese, more smushed Fritos, and it's just this layered thing, and it's insanely good. It's probably like a day's calories in like one bite, but it's if you're gonna go for it, go for it. You know,
Oh my
Frito
God. So
pie.
where's the best Frito pie in Austin?
I don't know. I don't
This
know.
is like a thing? This is like a phenomenon?
It's a thing. I've only had it in Austin, I will say. I believe I got it last time at Lucy's Fried Chicken, which is also the fried chicken.
Okay,
Lucy's Fried Chicken.
Chicken.
And Lucy's Fried Chicken is also a great venue.
Yeah.
Like, the bands there are awesome, so
Okay,
worth
Lucy's
checking
Fried
out.
Chicken. So there'll probably be some music going on during South by at Lucy's
Oh,
Fried Chicken.
yes, the
Yeah.
whole time. Yeah.
So if you're going to South by, there's a stop for you, Lucy's Fried Chicken. And Giddy Ups. Which day are you going to be at Giddy Ups?
So I'm at Giddy Ups on the same day as our
Okay.
X chromosome thing. So
Okay.
that's what is that, the 16th?
That's the 16th. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's a great
doing a
spot.
double header. I'm at Giddy Ups and then I come over and play. So
Cool.
I'll be running around.
Well, I'll miss you at Giddy Ups, but I think I'm going to try and get over there on Friday and say hello to Michael and the gang over there. That's a really special spot, and
It is, isn't it?
They really, it is. It's just like it was my first time at South by. Actually, I played there, and Ted Russell Camp hooked me up with that gig, and I got to after I got off the stage, Michael Ullman was like, "Come on over here," and we just sat and talked for 45 minutes, and it was such a great experience. So. I'm so glad you came. So you're gonna be in and out. You're gonna be leaving Friday or Saturday or.
Yeah, I've got to get back. I've got a gig in NorCal on the 18th. So I'm in
Well,
and
good.
out.
Well, I'm glad I'm gonna get to catch you for a minute.
I'm going to buy you some Frito pie. If I see ya, it's coming.
Oh my God. Okay. It's a deal. It's a deal.
We're
Well,
going to want to share it, trust me.
Oh God. Wow. Well, now you've had the full, like the true full Postcards experience. We've talked about stuff and things. We've talked about what's coming up with your record that's in process with Aircorn producing. We've talked about production in general. We've talked about last Thursdays with Pie and Friends at Urban Press Winery, which is my new favorite gig, by the way, that's out there.
Yes.
My new favorite thing. I just love the whole concept. And you can follow Pie on Instagram at Pie Jacobs.
Yep.
And there's also a website that you can go visit and see what's up and see where she's playing.
I'm not hiding.
You're not hiding. No, you're out there and telling people what's what. And that makes me so glad. So what do you say? We read a couple comments and then maybe another song before we say goodbye.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
If anyone wants to hear a song, a particular song, just lay it on me.
Okay. Yeah. So all right, here was the run up to the Frito pie. That's a new thing. Well, and the last bit is we've talked about food. We've talked about some kind of food thing that connects it all together because
Yes.
you know, if you go to a place, correct me if I'm wrong, if you go to a place and everything else kind of is okay but not fabulous, but the food's good.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
And I am very blessed to be an omnivore. I think morally I probably am aligned with vegetarianism. However, I find as a touring musician, it's dang impossible. People invite you when you're on the road to their home and they make you stuff and you want to be gracious and try it.
Yes.
But so I like a lot of different kinds of things. And especially when I'm touring with the twins, Zach and Adam, we will try to seek out weird foods on purpose, just for the entertainment value.
Like stuff that's sort of maybe a local delicacy or like just unusual or
Food tourism. Yeah.
Food tourism.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like almost everything. They did introduce me to the pickled sausage in the Southeast. Didn't know. No.
Never had pickled sausage before.
I
Seems
can't
like
recommend
an extra step that I would like. I'm all about pickled things, but like that seems like an extra step that I'm not quite sure how that works.
No. I don't know.
Okay, if anybody needs to refute on the whole pickled sausage thing, write a postcard right here to the Postcard Studio, 224 Anderson Street, Box 1, Portland, Maine, 04101. All right? Or tell us about your food adventure, food tourism, favorite record you listen to, favorite Pie Jacobs song, whatever you want to write on that thing. Just write it on there and send it to me. All right, Pie. Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. So I'm thinking let's maybe one more song if you got one lined up, and then we'll say hey, howdy, and goodbye before you head out. And what you got for us?
Okay. Just because it's morning and my brain's a little dead, I'm going to play this from my 2020 album. It's called No Sin to Be Poor. Oh, hey. And we're going to do that.
All right.
Oh, Mary, get back in line, as if you got nothing but time. You got your kids counting on you. You You're waiting on stamps of food. Girl, it's no sin. 3 jobs and a couple of babies. Mary, you ain't never been lazy. Well, you can make water from wine. You're paying that rent on time. Girl, it's no sin. Go on, shine up them go-go's. Take a big solo. Oh, dancing in the dollar store is no sin to be poor. Now, Mary, fill out your forms. Let that bureaucrat lecture you more. Well, he done to you, never been in his shoes. So don't you go look at the floor. No, no, it's no sin. Girl, go on, shine at them go-go's. Take a big solo. Oh, dancing in the dollar store is no. Now, Mary, don't go taking no guff from some kid living up on a trust. Some lady in designer wardrobe. You're looking good in them second-hand clothes. Go, go on, shine at them go-go's. Take a big solo. Oh, dancing in the dollar store is no. Go on, trading them bottles. Cash for that lotto. Oh, dancing in the dollar store is no. No sin to be poor. No, no. No sin to be poor. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh yeah, Pi Jacobs here on Postcards. Girl, you can really play. You can really play. You can really write. You can really play. You can really sing, and you sound fabulous. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And sharing with us your music, your wisdom about stuff and things. Hanging out, listening to Steals and Deals. You're a champ. You're a champ.
Thanks. You know I like to talk, so
Well, you know
anytime.
what? I like to talk too, but I don't like to talk about just anything.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. That makes me really glad. And I might have time to do a really quick version of the Postcard song. I hope you'll
Please.
because I think when we started,
Let's hear that.
out, I had a little bit of a robotic echo going on.
Yeah,
love the
I want to
term
hear that
robotic
nice
echo. I
Martin
think I'm
you
gonna
got
start a
there.
band called Robotic Echo.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really inspired. And Pi, if you want to, it was a bit of a pandemic tradition to play along or sing along with the Postcard song in the
Okay.
key. I'm going to play in the key of A. Completely out of time, totally out of sync, coast to coast. Just
Okay.
a big old musical.
Okay.
If you're down.
I'm tuned down. Maybe I'll sing because I'm tuned down a half step. So
Okay,
Yeah.
if you're tuned down a half step, you can just sit and enjoy and be praised for being so awesome. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks to our wonderful, wonderful live audience and to everybody who's listening after. We're so glad that you came around to hang out with us. Please follow on Instagram. Check out our website, Pi Jacobs, the very wonderful, the one and only. When you're down and you're blue and you don't know what to do, just write a postcard. When you're feeling fine and there's something on your mind, just write a postcard. Don't you know Grandma loves this show? She listens every time. You don't need a reason. You don't need a rhyme to write a postcard to P.O. Box 224 Anderson Street, visit Portland, Maine, just write a postcard. 04101. 'Cause Grandma loves this show.
Love it. Yay!
Yay! Okay, great. Thank you so much, Pi Jacobs. Thanks everybody who's been listening in this morning. Now
Thanks
or
for-
later, we love all of you, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again,
Yeah.
Pi. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, hang out for a second. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.